Hello, how are we doing? Okay, out and about on another wet one. It's really coming down a bit today, but we talked about this before, that there's no such thing as bad weather. It's just our attitude towards it or the meaning that we attach to it. And since I had a recent sort of health scare if you like, puts things into perspective a little bit, wakes you up to the miracle of life. You know, we can take our life for granted, our health, our fitness, all this kind of stuff. So it's just something to consider, especially in this materialistic season, you know, when it's all about things that don't really, you know, give you any inner happiness anyway. But the message here is, if you're a little bit worried about something, you know, as guys, we can stick our head in the sand, hope it goes away. We might avoid stuff. And we talked about avoidance before. You know, avoidance is why the majority of people aren't living the lives they want right now. They might be avoiding a different conversation, you know, addressing a certain issue, might even just be avoiding being mindful of what you're consuming, your body changes, just, you know, doing a bit of exercise, eating a little bit better, whatever it is. But yeah, this, and that all comes down to an element of fear. And back in the day, you know, I mean, I've got this system now, and it's really helped me over these couple of weeks with this scare. But the point is, I'm human, you know, it's not perfect, and I still had a wobble. I still had that anxiety about it. But I had a little bruise up here, so it wasn't the bruise itself that I was worried about. You know, I'm active, I'm a little bit clumsy, and the sort of training that I do, you know, these things, we get bruises and things like that. But it was in the lower abdominal area. And on inspection of the bruise, it led me to find a bump. I wouldn't even say a lump. It was more like a bump in the groin area, below the belt line, if you like. And obviously, has it always been there? You know, and then you start panicking, put two and two together, you come up with 500. Worse still, you ask Dr. Google, all that kind of stuff. And as I say, you know, this isn't in an area that I would be checking. I do all the other kind of checks. So, you know, I got in touch with my GP, and I had to wait a good couple of weeks to get an appointment. So in that time, a lot of time to think, anxiety there's a bit of a wobble there, and I'm trying to focus on all my other stuff, which did help, but you know, it's hard to focus when you've got this. So this is why this system has helped. But anyway, it basically turned out to be nothing. It was just scar tissue, because I've got an old, had a surgical procedure there before, a little bit lower, and that's what it turned out to be. But I didn't know that for those 2 weeks. And this is the thing, anything with bumps and lumps, you know, go and get them checked out. But for me, I had about 3 surgical procedures before I was 17, and nothing serious there. And of course, nobody likes hospitals and medical things, all that kind of stuff. But I had those 3 before I was 17, so it's the experiences you have. And then at 17, I remember my mum coming to me asking me about, you know, could I feel this lump there? And it was after she'd split with a partner and all that kind of stuff. But it turned out to be breast cancer, and then there was 5 years of hospitals and hospices and procedures, seeing her go through all that kind of stuff. And then she eventually passed 5 years on, and all that kind of stuff happened before I was like 22. So, you know, anxiety, then I wonder why anxiety is my thing. And there are other reasons as well that I've since discovered. But as I say, nobody enjoys this kind of stuff, but it's that fear element. And as guys, we can bury our head in the sands, all that kind of stuff. So my message is, if you're a little bit worried about something, a little bit embarrassed, just go and get it checked out. Peace of mind. And, you know, the support system is good as well, which is why we have a group of guys. But, I've got a couple, you know, 2 really good friends that I can talk to about things. And that's great. And I was quite surprised. I spoke to one of them, and I was quite surprised how he opened up about some of the stuff he was having that I didn't even really know at the time. And he said something to me that I really liked, that really resonated, and that I'd like to share, was, you know, go and get it checked out, and then it puts your mind at rest, and you know you're okay for a period of time. And if it's not okay, then you're doing something about it. And that's the thing. And it comes back to anxiety as well, you know, anxiety, all these kind of things. You'll never outthink it. So in those 2 weeks, that wobble period, I was trying to focus on stuff, you know, you've got the anxiety there. You're never going to outthink that anxiety. And thinking without doing just leads to more anxiety. So all I had to tell myself was, I've done everything I can do. I booked myself in. You know, I didn't avoid it. I didn't ignore it. And basically I just had to go with it, and it turned out to be, and you know, I kept saying that to myself, well, if it is anything, we're dealing with it. And that's all you can do, really, you know. And there was all that kind of, oh, well, I don't really need this now, this time of the year, Christmas, blah, blah, blah. There's never any good time, is there? You never want to be ill. So it's just something to consider. If you're a little bit worried, a little bit embarrassed, speak to somebody, go and get it checked out. More than, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be nothing. And even if it is, you'll be dealing with it. So that's pretty much my message for today. So I'm going to get back to the walk and just enjoying being alive, the gift of life, all that kind of stuff. And it might sound a bit, a bit extreme, but like I said, we forget, the gift of life is a miracle and we take it for granted. So think about that this season, as opposed to all that kind of, materialistic stuff as well. And you'll probably find that you'll be a little bit more content. So that is it. Until the next time, have a great day. I'll catch you later.